I must, for myself, examine the reasons I left the comfort of Kuldahar for a journey to Deeping Dale, the place of Isilor's birth. It is much like the assignments given to me by Uncle Oswald and Isilor himself. When Isilor left those lands near the Inner Sea for the spine of the world, he told his fellow druids he would send a student to replace him. This, I told myself, was why I left. But now, as I sit by the warmth of a fire in Mirabar, I realize what Isilor must have already known. I remember the details vividly. It started many years ago. The year was 1310 Dale Reckoning, when scouts from Burn Shander, the largest of the 10 towns, first reported sighting goblin warbands. Within weeks, a river of goblins had flowed forth from the spine of the world, and above that wave of death sailed a banner bearing the monstrous heads of the Chimera. The militiamen of the 10 towns would have been the Dale's only defense had the forces of fate been against Burn Shander. But Albrecht Dinsmore, the mayor of the town of Targos, urged the council to send a messenger south to the port cities of Luskan and Neverwinter. Luskan had problems of her own, but fearful of repercussions, the captains of Luskan devised a simple plan. Throughout the city, they posted notices promising wealth and fame. With lean work in the northern port city, many mercenaries and thugs were lured to the ships that would take them even further north. And so their ships crept through the sea of moving ice and onto the Shanegarn River. They bragged of the deeds they would perform and the castles they would purchase. Lost in their reverie, they were blind to the throngs of goblins and orcs that lay in wait. Only a few ships survived the assault. Those that continued up the river watched as the town of Bremen burned. One of the 10 towns had already fallen. Many wondered, as I often wonder, what difference only a few can make against so many, and in the midst of such terrible circumstances. As the plains turned into hills, the wind turned gale. Uncle had seen storms appear quickly, but this was like a bolt from an angry god. He managed to evade what he believed was the worst of the storm by flying low. He then beheld a wall of ice in the western pass. Wild men whipped their hands in magical patterns atop the frozen barrier. My uncle gasped when he heard the balloon tear above him, and he told me what frightened him most before the ship crashed that day. It was the silence, he said. As the ship fell, the casters froze on the wall, and the storm abated. There was no sound and no motion, just the face of Faerun rising to meet him. Auric didn't come into Kuldahar much after the Legion had broken. So much of his work had been lost that his life seemed wasted in his old age. Once I asked him what had happened when the hand vanished on that fateful day. As he looked down from the safety of the Mage's Tower, he watched chunks of stone fall away and disappear. Eventually, trails of ethereal fire raced up the fingers, leaving lavender smoke and nothing more. When the haze cleared, his tower alone survived, hanging in the sky as a reminder of what once stood at the center of the valley. Though I barely remember the adventurers now, we all remember how important they were to our lives. They stayed with us for a while longer, but that moved with the changing of the seasons. Soon after the heroes had gone, Isilor planted a garden at the base of the great oak, for he told us the adventurer's memory should remain associated with the realm of the living. And as I now realize, it is for the sake of the living that I now leave my home, just as my mentor did when he came here, and just as those adventurers did when they saved all of Icewind Dale. There are many roads left to travel, many deeds left to do, before the end of my days.